I'm going to show you something that generally felt strange the first time I built it. Not one agent, a team of them. A manager agent that takes your request, breaks into jobs, and hands each job to specialist, a researcher, a writer, an analyst, and even a critic who checks the work, who go off, do their part, and report back, and the manager pulls it together. It works like a tiny company, and once you see it run, you can't unsee the implication. That's what we are trying to build today. Let's go. Hey, Manish here. Quick recap. Episode 2, we built an agent from scratch. Episode 3, we gave it real tools, search, files, APIs. Today we go from one agent to another, working together. If you have followed along, you have everything you need for this. If you haven't, the loop and the tools from last 2 episodes are the foundation, so maybe start from there. So, why would you want more than one agent? A single agent with good tools is powerful, but it has limits. First, focus. A single agent juggling research, analysis, and writing in one long context starts to lose the threads. It mixes the concerns. Give each job to a specialist with a tight focus, and each does its job better. Second, parallelism. One agent does things one at a time. A team can research 3 topics at once. For big tasks, that's a real speed up. Third, clarity and control. When each agent has one job, you can test it, debug it, swap it. A monolith doing everything is a black box. A team is modular. The mental model. Stop thinking one super agent and start thinking a small team where each member is good at one and the manager coordinates them. The most common and most useful pattern is the orchestrator, sometimes called as supervisor or manager. Here's the shape. At the top, the orchestrator, it receives the task. Its only job is to plan and delegate, break the task into subtasks and decide which specialist hands it. Below it, the specialists, each is itself an agent, its own loop, its own tools, but scoped to one role. A researcher that can search, an analyst that can compute, a writer that can draft, a fourth one people don't expect to have it, a critic whose job is to review the other 3 work before it ships. The flow is the orchestrator gets the request, plans subtasks, sends each to the right specialist, collects the results, and synthesizes the final answer. The specialists don't talk to each other directly, they report up to the orchestrator. That keeps it clean. This is Anthropic's own recommended structure for complex work, a lead agent that coordinates sub-agents, each working in its own context. I'll link the write-up. It's the same pattern behind a lot of what you see called deep research or agent swarms. Let's build. A specialist is just an agent, the loop from episode 2, wrapped as a function the orchestrator can call. Let's see. So as you can see in the multi-agent.py, this is nothing but the specialist function. So each specialist has a name, a role, and a set of tools scoped to that role. So in the current context, as you could see, so we have defined different roles accordingly in the respective functions. For example, researcher, analyst, writer, and critic. So researcher has its own loop, which is web search. Analyst has its calculator. Writer drafts text. Critics does the reviews of those draft accordingly. So we have defined those set of rules, and these are nothing but each of those components for the generic agent loop that we had defined before. So yes, as I mentioned, the researcher gets the web search, it finds attractions and neighborhoods. The analyst gets the calculator, builds the day by day budget plans for you. The writer gets nothing but it words, it drafts the itinerary, and the critic also has no tool, it's just a judgment, so it drafts the against the original ask whether to approve or send it back for fix. So the key idea is a specialist is a function, and you give a subtask and output is a result. The orchestrator doesn't care how he did it, it just gets the result back. That's the same tool abstraction from episode 3, one level up. An agent can be a tool for another agent. Now the orchestrator, here's the elegant part to the orchestrator. Each specialist is just a tool. We'll see a function called as call researcher here, analyst. We have defined all these parameters for these agents with the respective prompts and respective tools defined. So you could see that we have something called as call researcher, call analyst, call writer, and call critic, name of these orchestrator tools accordingly. And same tool use loop from episode 3, the orchestrator calls a specialist like it would call any tool, gets the results and decides the next move. One deliberate design choice that I have done is I do not trust the orchestrator to remember to call the critic. Call writer automatically routes every draft through the critic and revises one, then rechecks before the orchestrator ever sees it. Relying on an LLM memory for a critical safety step is fragile. Baking it into the code as a fixed pipeline stage isn't. That one decision quietly fixed the two worst bugs I hit building this. So multi-agent isn't a new mechanism, it's the same loop nested. The orchestrator runs a loop where its tool happen to be other agents. That's the whole trick. One that clicks, the complexity melts. So let's go ahead and go through these components ahead. And if you see, this is the running of respective team. I've given a very big system prompt, whether for an orchestrator along with the set of tasks. And I've just given a task for booking a 5-day trip to Kyoto and Japan for two people with a total budget of $3,000, and researcher they must see attraction and the best neighborhood to stay in each city, compute a realistic day-by-day budget breakdown, write a full day-by-day itinerary, and have it reviewed for the completeness and budget accuracy before finalizing it. So in this, we are calling the same run task above, and it will generate and perform the respective task as we have discussed based on the orchestration tool. So let's go ahead and let me run this quickly. So just quickly start my terminal. So I hope you, for now, you would have already created your virtual environments, and the first thing that you need to do is ensure that you have your respective, in case if you're using OpenAI key or Anthropic API key, use those and install your respective requirement. You should be within your respective virtual environment activated. I'm just going to follow the steps that I've given in the commands, and you'll also see this in the readme file as well. Uh, just install the requirements. Just let me go inside the path, copy path, cd, and yeah, and let's say if I do the requirements, so all my requirements are done. So right now we'll just run the core components, and then we'll see how we have hooked it through the UI, and we'll see that component as well. So if I just do a python multi-agent.py.run, you will start to see in the logs above now. Orchestrator is planning, it is calling the research agent, find the must see attraction in Kyoto, Japan. So the researcher is doing a web search, and it is going to get you the respective operations over here. And as you can see, it's a loop that is running continuously, and these functions are being called, which we have called. So you would see that each of those so till now the researcher has gone ahead to find respective iterations, and every time you can see a respective query that is being sent across in loops. And now you have your call analyst. So the analyst is working, calculating the respective cost breakdown for those, and Router is going to fragment it better, and critic is going to critique the respective value, and this is what the outcome is going to look like. Okay, so this looks good as part of your entry point. Now I've built generally a very low weighted UI for you, in case if you're just starting local. You can use Streamlit. So Streamlit is Python based UI which you can draft. So I've given the steps to run this as well in the readme file. You can go through it and ensure that you've already run through those requirements. So let me show you across once I run this. Now when I run the streamlit.ui, you will see a UI opening up in the local host. Now this is the UI that you could use for your respective interaction to test it out, not only on the CLI level. Now once I run the streamlit.ui Python package, so I have got a browser UI running on top of the exact same code. Now the task, I've given few sample codes. You can go ahead and update and draft it accordingly. So let me go ahead and run this for benefit of us. So you can see here I've given few sample trips. You can take those, you can make changes to it in the respective prompt, and just click on run. And once you run, basically you could see that the progress bar, that's the whole story that you see at a glance. The orchestrator thinks 4 jobs here: research, budget, draft, and review. It delegates. Watch the research card pulse. It searches, comes back with the attraction and neighborhood for both cities, and the panel checks off the moment it's done, not at the end of the whole run. And that feeds the analyst, who computes the day by day budget split. The writer takes both and draft the itinerary. And this is the part I love. It doesn't just hand that to me. It goes to the critic first automatically every time the critic checks it against the original budget and duration, and either approves it or kicks back one specific revision. And if it does, the revision draft gets checked again before it ships. Only then does the orchestrator deliver the final answer. And watch the nesting. The orchestrator calls inside each one, especially running its own loop live in its own panel, color coded so you can follow what's going in, a loop inside a loop, a team, and you can watch it think. So I think that's it. It's done. As you can see, a final respective iterations working across. Yeah, and this is what we generally see as a respective outcome coming in for each of those iterations ahead, and the final response. And you can download the itinerary as well. So yeah, this is the same prompt. Go ahead and try it at your side as well and let me know. Let's talk about how they actually pass information, because this is where people overcomplicate things. In our setup, communication is simple. The orchestrator passes a subtask as text. The specialist returns a result as text. Structured messages: who sent it, what task is, what the result is, no magic protocol. For bigger systems, you'll hear about message passing, shared memory, blackboards, and standards like agent to agent protocol. They're useful at scale, but the core is always the same: a sender, receiver, and a message. Start simple, add structures when you feel the pain, not before. So now the part people skip and then regret. Team of agents fail in new ways. Failure one is the telephone game. Information degrades as it passes between agents, and I don't mean that abstractly. It happens to me building this. The critic would say revise, fix X, and the orchestrator would send a writer subtask that just described the fix instead of pasting the actual previous draft. The writer has no memory of writing it, so it replied, I don't have the original itinerary. Real failure live on camera for the first time I ran the fix. Never trust an LLM to carry context forward implicitly. Either paste it explicitly every time, or better, take that decision out of LLM's hand entirely, which is why review and revise is now a fixed pipeline stage, not a prompt instructions. Failure 2 is runway delegation. The orchestrator delegates the specialist, and the specialist delegates again, and you get into spiral of agents calling agents. The fix is a delegation depth limit, so agents can't nest beyond a cap. Failure 3 is cost explosion. So every agent is its own LLM loop, a team of 5 agents, orchestrator plus 4 specialists, each doing a handful of steps is 20 plus LLM cost for one task, and a critic triggered revision adds more. So fix is per agent step caps and a global budget. Failure 4 is one agent blocks the team, the researcher's API is down, so nothing proceeds. Fix timeouts and graceful degradations. The team reports what it could do, nothing more. Let's be real about cost, because multi-agent multiplies it. One agent task in episode 3 was maybe around 6 cents. A 5 agent team, orchestrator, research analyst, writer, critic, where each does real work, could be around 30 to 60 cents per task. More if critic sends back for revision. Scale it to thousands of tasks and you're making a real budget decisions. So the guardrail compound: global max steps across the whole team, per agent step caps, a delegation depth limit, and crucial at its stage, logging every agent's every move. So when something costs more than expected, you can see exactly which agent did what. Here's the honest part nobody puts in the thumbnail. Most tasks don't need a team. A single well-built agent with good tools handle large majority of real work. Multi-agent adds cost, latency, and failure modes. Use a team when the tasks generally need to split into independent parallel jobs, or the subtask needs such different skills and tools that one agent gets confused, or you need the modularity for testing and scale. Don't use a team when a single agent would do. You are adding agents because it sounds impressive, or you haven't yet hit the limits of one agent. So there are own guidance from different Anthropic or OpenAI steps to start with the simplest thing that works, and you add complexity only when it earns its place. A team of agents is powerful. It's always a great way to turn a 60-cent task into a $6 for no reason. So yeah, three patterns worth knowing. Orchestrator, what we built, a manager delegates to the specialist, best for tasks that splits into subtasks. Pipeline, agents in a line, each transforms the task of the last. Research, analyze, write in sequence, best for stage workflows. Debate, multiple agents argue or critique each other to reach a better solution, best for high stakes reasoning where you want second opinion. Same building block, loop, tools, agents as tools, arranged differently. So that's multi-agent, the orchestrator pattern, agents as tools for other agents, how they communicate, the new failure modes, and the honest take on when a team actually earns its cost. You have now gone what is an agent to a coordinated team of agents. This is a serious foundation. You can build real systems now. Next episode, episode 5, memory, we'll see how agents remember across tasks and sessions, so your team doesn't have to start from zero every time. Is the thing that turns a clever demo into something that actually learns from your context. So I pinned the book in the description. Go through it, and it goes deep, all of it in production, or orchestration at scale, governance, the operational reality. So link is in the description, and leave a review if you want to grab it, and subscribe, and I'll see you in episode 5.